to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Jacqueline Close-More Live with Jacqueline Close-More. Jacqueline Close-More. Live from jacqueline.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Jacqueline Close-More
On
Live.
A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Jacqueline, and this is A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV coming to you live around the world and from my couch in Melbourne. And Dave, hi there, is off in North Carolina, in Greenville, and kind of exciting times, aren't we, in? It's been interesting because I've actually had people say to me, oh, look, do you think you can do a party in July? And I'm like, can I? We're really wanting you for like 20 people. And I'm sort of like, I'm not seeing that happening. You know, I'm just sort of saying, and this is way back, I think it was March, people asking me about July. And I'm like, can you see what's coming? Like, it's now in the news. It's not even just in here with me and a lot of other sensitive people feeling this stuff coming like last year and 10 years ago. It's like, do you think you can come to a party in July? And I'm sort of like, don't think it's going to be possible, but thanks for the offer. So I've got more booking sort of requests for events, and I really feel for people planning weddings. I mean, this is really full on. And for those going through funerals in Melbourne and Australia, you've got limited number of people you can have. It's a very difficult time for those family celebrations and even family sharing of loss. It's quite huge here. So, occasionally I'm getting these sort of, we want to throw a party, we'd like to come along, and that kind of makes me laugh. But then I'm thinking of, hey, all these people who've got really serious things they want to do, not just have me come along and make them laugh a bit, which probably could be needed anyway, frankly. But, I'm thinking for all those people who have got really serious events they want to be able to commemorate and they can't do it. And so it's a time to be very flexible, yeah? Flexible with those around you and flexible with events, and particularly Mercury's retrograde. What is not retrograde right now? Let's face it. We've got Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which we had at the start of January. We've also got it now. The last time that was happening was 2001. So if everyone can remember what that was, and so it's really a time to be very kind and gentle to yourself, to your neighbours, to your family, to just to people around you, kind of be flexible with things. Now, I believe we've got a caller on the line. We've got Jennifer. Are you there, Jennifer? Well, she's somewhere in there. I'm not hearing a thing. So it could be astral planing into the environment, but she's there somewhere. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, because I just got told there's a caller, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I'm just going to get into something I found this morning online, and I'm just going to quickly go into this. And it was to all the people with good hearts, one day you'll get what you deserve. I actually wrote a thing on my business page there on Jacqueline Close-More on Facebook, and it's like, how about you get what you allow into your life? And I've got a whole reasons of why and what to do there. So I'm going to get and deal with that a bit later. But we've got Jennifer on the line, I believe. You there, Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for calling in. And good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's from around the world here. So it's really good to have you call in, and thank you for doing that. Can I grab your date of birth, because that allows me to go right in and tune in for you, and then we can get into the areas you want me to look at for you.
Sure. It's August 22nd, 78.
Yeah, okay. Big times for you, and it does feel like you're having to readjust a lot of things here, refiling things into boxes of what is actually useful and what you need to let go of. A lot of pressure around areas of work and money and sense of stability, structure and foundations, and just kind of needing to calm your farm at the moment as best as you can. A lot of boundary issues with people, and also issues around the home, the heart and family, and working out what is in your heart to do. But certainly we've got an overlying energy at the moment this year, of course, of this chaotic stuff going on. But the question you want me to look at for you today, we can go anywhere you want me to look.
Okay, yeah, and you're right on the money with the family and that. But the question I wanted to ask is what you see happening with John and I.
Ooh, I'm feeling that. I feel like you've got to kind of whoa up those horses, hold on for dear life with yourself here. You know, this is sort of hitting the real core of you. And I really want you to take the time for yourself and be loving to yourself in this situation, and not be, at some points you're like overgiving here, and at other points you're like reactive. And we can go into hyper arousal at times when we're outside our window of tolerance, and that's where we can sort of get a bit snappy and a bit bitey. And it's really important to try and find that middle ground in yourself here, and try and find the peace with you right now, because that's who matters the most in how you deal with this whole situation. I just feel like we've overcome a number of hurdles here, and we have to kind of keep it real for you. So self-care is very important here. 3 months and 3 years, there's this, it's like 3 months ago there's an event, 3 years ago there's another event. It's like, you know, there's a lot of recall of past events going on that are kind of affecting this, and you're having to kind of, you know, really keep this real, keep the integrity of what you're about, and yeah, all I can say is it's kind of like riding a roller coaster at the moment. You just got to kind of hang on, keep your hands and feet inside the ride while we go through Jumanji level 12 overall in the world right now. But certainly, what's going on out there can trickle down into what's going on as an extra stressor, and I think even around health, it's like you have to be patient and diligent on things that matter, you know, around any record keeping, around any sense of what needs to be done today, you know, real world situation in this moment and needs your care and attention, and what's just taking away from the energy and taking away from what's practical, real and grounded. So it's multiple layers you're having to deal with at once here. But any stress you can take out of the situation, the better. It's really important you're not sacrificing yourself to the situation, if that makes sense to you.
A little. I mean, self-care is always important, so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Sorry, say that again.
I said self-care is always definitely important and looking inside, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a roller coaster that I'm getting of events around you that can be really kind of disruptive, and that's the stuff I'm saying. You're needing to kind of hold to yourself at the moment in how you deal with this, because otherwise you could be sacrificing what your needs are in this situation. And I could actually be talking about another person around you at the moment to do with that particular statement. But it's like you need to really hold to your own sort of core values, beliefs, and what's actually helpful and happy and good for you in this situation, rather than giving over too much or giving out too much. You're kind of having to hold on to your own beliefs or your own sort of sense of integrity, what's going to work for you, what's healthy for you, what's good for you, because there's a lot of big changes coming up here, and you kind of, you know, you have to really refocus at the moment. What you might think is important just at this moment over the next 6 months is changing dramatically. And certainly if we run out of time, I can explain that better to you offline and in a private message with you as well, if you want to go on my Facebook page. But certainly take the care and time you need for you right now in this situation, because there's a lot of things changing, a lot of moving parts that are changing with this, is how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of change and moving parts with family, so that I guess that can make sense in that regard. That can put stress on
this, and some of the other interactions around those people and around particularly someone else who might be a bit draining at the moment, a bit chaotic, can put stress into this situation or stress into how you're responding in this situation. That's how I'm kind of seeing it in that regard. With this, that's why I'm saying it that way. So even though it's sort of like, hang on, we're not dealing with specifically John here, why not? It's because this other stuff is feeding into this. So it's really important, where possible, be very kind to you at the moment. That gives you more energy, so that when you're relating with him, it's going to be easier to have that clear communication instead of these misunderstandings or feeling that he's saying this when actually he's meaning that. It's like there can be a bit of miscommunication due to other stresses outside of the two of you. So it's important to kind of create this fortress in the storm, so to speak, really strong and kind of got warm, blankets inside, because you think of fortress, you think of cold stone and weather and lightning and freaky stuff. So you kind of need it to be nice and warm inside with the two of you and very strong on the outside, so that the other things going on outside of this are not intruding so much. I feel that that's the most important thing I could say about this, because I feel like you're quite good together, but we've just got to kind of ease some of the congestion, the confusion, the other sort of things around this, and then this is going to calm down a lot. There's a lot of stuff that you can do together. You can work very practically together once you're both very focused, but when you're sort of getting out of track with each other, that's where it gets a bit lost. So that's what I mean by that. So it's going to be really important to be patient with each other just during this time, and that's what's going to get you a lot more objectivity in the situation, and also a lot more progress. But I do see good things here. I'm just like capturing that bit of the stuff that's creating the grind, the irritation, and saying, right, well, that's what we need to change, and that's what will get you there. So I hope that helps you today there, Jennifer. Do feel free to connect with me on Facebook if you need any further clarification or need to give feedback on that. More than happy. I'm happy to connect with you, just because we're running down on time. So thank you, everyone who's watching, listening, and tune in to A1R and Moonstruck TV for more shows this evening, afternoon, and morning around the world. And you can find me once again on Facebook. Go to Jacqueline Closemore Live. Catch you next week. Lots of love. Bye.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Insights by Janita with Janita Francis. Live from InsightsByJanita.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Insights by Janita
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Insights by Janita Francis. It is a very cold, yet again cold day right here in Sydney, Australia. However, the week has been quite lovely. During the day it's been nice and sunny, very crisp, very fresh. It just takes us a little bit longer in the mornings and in the late evenings to get our bones and our arthritis going. But aside from that, they've been beautiful long days. So this week, I thought we'd talk about a few different things. I have a Strong Women Masterclass tomorrow night. That's Australian time, Thursday night. What that's all about is how to find our strong woman inside you. Sorry, guys, I've missed you out. Just for this one, I'll miss you out because women in general, we underestimate how much resilience we have and how much power we have and how to correctly use that power. And we can do it with elegance and poise and dignity and all those beautiful, fluffy, feminine words, or we can do it with ass kicking. And sometimes we have to kick asses to be able to understand our own power and understand how to stand in that. And the elegance and the poise and the dignity and all those, fluffy, nicer words, that comes with practice and comes with, I know from my personal experience, and I don't mind sharing this because I think pretty much my personal life is on YouTube. I've chronologued it. When I was growing up, I had this really terrible childhood, and how things got done in that household was through anger, through really poor behaviour, actually, looking back. But you got things done by being violent, by being aggressive, by being scary, by intimidating, and that's what happened in my childhood. That's how you got heard, is how you got your point across, is how you got the things that you needed. There was no love and nurturing, gentleness, kindness, nothing like that. It was just, for me personally, and I don't know if it's just the middle child or what, but I actually felt like I was more of a burden. I sort of came along and ruined everything for everybody, and that was a very clear indication for me. So in my first relationship, I chose someone that was very similar to both of the parents, very abusive, very not nurturing, not kind, not gentle, alcohol and drug addictions, dishonesty, deceitful behaviour. Because you mirror that, you think that that's what life's all about. You think that that's normal, and it's not until you sort of grow and you have some more experiences and you expand a bit on your own personal life and how you grow that you work out that that's not normal at all. It's actually quite horrible. So in my first relationship, when that dissolved, I decided, okay, well, you need to be able to be heard. So I went a little bit overboard as far as, making sure that my needs were heard and how people were listening to me. So I was very Gestapo, I think would probably be a good word for it, very black or white. There were no shades of grey. There was no nurturing, because that's how I grew up. I thought that that's how life was. So I got rid of number one, that's okay, and then number two came along, and he was a different kind of abuser, and so I had to learn how to understand my emotions better, because he would emotionally abuse me. So I had to understand how I was feeling and to process how I was feeling, so I would be able to not do that back. I didn't want to play that emotional tug of war to, and manipulate people through using my emotions or using their emotions against them to be able to get what I wanted. So I learned a lot about how I didn't want to behave and how I didn't want to be in that relationship. And it was actually kind of good, because now, in my mid-40s, I can look back at each of my 3 relationships that I've had, and I've gone, okay, this section or this relationship taught me all these things, not to hit people, and that the violence and the aggressive way of living is not the way to go. There's other ways to be heard. And often the quieter our voice becomes, the more people lean in and listen to us, which is quite ironic, because I thought if you boomed your voice out, people would naturally listen to you. So that was a big learning curve for me. The second person taught me about emotional abuse, and that's very much what the mother did. Very much emotional abusing, and just cutting off emotionally, not nurturing, not loving, not giving, not protecting, all the things that sort of embody what a mum does, she didn't. So the second person was very maternal in his approach to things, and therefore he also used emotion to manipulate. So I learned, and not all mums do that, obviously. I don't do that as a mum either. But it's his attitude and the way he interacted with me actually mirrored the way she was when I was a child. So I was actually able to take that little section of my life and learn how to understand emotions on a deeper level, and understand and bring in some compassion and some nurturing of myself. Then I was single again. That relationship didn't work out, lo and behold. And the next person taught me about shutting down, because his whole methodology in that relationship was to just give me the silent treatment. So, and I realized that I didn't want to argue, I didn't want to fight, I didn't want to emotionally manipulate or, you know, be ruled too much or consumed too much by my emotions. So I would shut down, I would withdraw. That's not good either, because nothing gets resolved when you shut down and you withdraw. So number 3 taught me how gut-wrenching silent treatment can be and how it messes with your sense of value to be ignored so much that you feel like you don't exist. So I learned that I needed to find this happy medium. I needed to be strong enough but not be aggressive. I needed to be soft enough but not be a pushover. And I needed to speak up enough but do it in the right manner so that people could understand and that we could find that common ground where they were being heard and listened to and I was being heard and listened to. Number 4 comes along and I think I finally got it. And the best thing about number 4, my beautiful husband, is the fact that he actually has gone through similar experiences. So he gets that screaming and fighting is not the way. He gets that withdrawal is not the way. He learned his lessons in a little bit, in a different format and in a different process, in different ways. But the lessons are still the same, and how to be soft and how to be tough and when to apply, what to apply, how to apply it, listening to your audience. You know, everybody gives and receives love in a different way, and we're not all the same. Love is the umbrella term, but we all give and receive it in a different way. So for me to have enough compassion and understanding to realize that he was sensitive about some stuff, and for him to do the same thing back. So we've got this amazing relationship, and yeah, he annoys the crap out of me every now and then, but you know, that's what life's all about. People are going to annoy you. But the thing is, the coping mechanisms that we both have and how we apply ourselves and our resolve and our solutions and conflict resolution during those times when we're annoying each other, because I'm sure I annoy him too, but I won't say that to his face, and how we come out the other side of those disagreements or those times when we need to really sit down and have those really tough conversations and make sure that we're being heard and making sure that we're understanding and we're listening to understand. We're not listening to reply. And a lot of people get in that cycle, and I certainly got in that cycle myself with the first 3 relationships where I was listening to reply. I wasn't listening to what he was saying to me, any of those 3. I was too busy thinking, crap, how am I going to get out of this? Do I get aggressive? Do I get sooky? Do I cry? Do I go and lock myself away? What do I do? How do I cope with this? And I don't have to worry about that anymore, because I know that now, living in that monster house growing up, having those 3 abusive relationships have taught me the lessons. I'm a doer, okay? I can't read a book on abuse and go, oh yeah, I've got that. I actually have to live the experience. And going through all those lessons and learning about those things and having them in 3 separate partners, which was ideal, because that meant that I wasn't being overwhelmed with the abuse. I was actually being able to take them down into manageable chunks and dissect them and understand them properly and give all my focus to that lesson about me that I was learning. They were teaching me about me. I didn't feel like that at the time, okay? I'll let you know. Hindsight tells us that was a lesson that we needed to look for the moral of the story or what we were going to get out of it. But look, it was difficult and shitty, and I wouldn't want to live through it again. But I wouldn't change it, because my understanding of who I am and how I apply my knowledge to myself, my own life, and how I apply my knowledge when I'm doing my metaphysics education, and how I'm empowering women in particular to find that common ground, find that understanding. I wouldn't swap all of my experiences for anything. Absolutely no way whatsoever. So, yeah. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share. So if you've got some time, Thursday night Australian time, that will be 7 p.m. Australian time, which would be ridiculously early for you guys, but I will pop it up on YouTube. You can get copies of all of my free masterclasses and workshops. I do not charge for these at all, because I want to share the knowledge that I've experienced, that I've learned, that I've researched, that I've understood from other people's experiences as well. and just spread the word that, life is fantastic when we apply our learned mechanisms and we don't do it from a place of fear. We actually do it from a place of, okay, I've got this. I can be a strong, empowered person. All right, guys, that's it from Inside by Janita Francis for this week. Please do join me next week on Moonstruck and A1R Radio Network. You can catch us on iHeartRadio as well. My podcast will be on tonight, and you can always catch me for a private mentoring session at www.insightbyjanita.com. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyonsBrilliance.wixsite.com/Perry Lyons.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is New York City Celebrity Psychic
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, my cherished Franklins. I'm Perry Lyons. This is my small castle outside Paris, or castle outside of Paris. And welcome to Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. We can work together to both create a better world filled with equality, life, light, justice, and also that I can get the number of your children right and give you a really, really spot-on answer, which so far, I got to say, been our track record. Thank you. Anyway, so I'm in Annapolis, Maryland, So I'm kind of the New York City, but right now in quarantine in Annapolis, Maryland, celebrity psychic. And it's been beautiful here, except it's sort of in the south, and there were hailstones today. These hailstones the size of golf balls. I only think that that's an omen for the end of the world, because I also actually cleaned my house yesterday, which in the Bible, it says when I do that, it is the end of the world. Anyway, so hi, welcome to Prairie Lions, New York City Celebrity Psychic. And we're going to do the Psychic Tarot Weather right now. And that's where I draw 3 cards totally randomly. And that's going to be, the 3 cards are going to represent kind of the psychic weather, or if you've been watching me a lot, you know this word, zeitgeist, the spirit of the times for the week coming up. And the spirit of the times is also the spirit of us individually right now. So take a deep breath, grab your goldfish or cat, and relax. And I'm going to pick 3 cards and randomly tell you the psychic weather. Ready? Which is just like regular weather, except with less damage to crops. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll even show you what it is. The Queen of Wands it's an energy that's going to be entering probably around Friday is what I'm getting. And this is a very outgoing female, kind of a female energy. So if you're a woman, which I happen to be, it means that towards the end of this week, you're going to be sort of channeling into your divine feminine goddess self. And you're going to be feeling like you've got a surge of energy. You've had a lot of realizations during this time. You're kind of ready to take over the world. I personally have taken over the northeast corner of my living room. But it also means that there's a very strong woman or female energy that's going to pop up sort of either in politics or on the world kind of radar this week. Okay. That's interesting. The next card is, again, having to do with feminine energy being honored in our culture more, or being recognized. This is the High Priestess. So for each of us individually, this means that either we're honoring our feminine, intuitive, and I don't mean feminine, you don't have to be a woman to have a feminine, intuitive side. But this is a week in which we're going to be kind of getting more still. We're going to be open to more kind of, we'll say, synchronicities, cosmic responses, direct responses to our questions or wishes. And we're going to find that things we've been thinking about for a long time are going to start sort of showing up in our lives. It's a good week to start a meditation practice. It's a good week to kind of learn mindfulness, and it's a terrific week to just pay attention to your own intuition and your own psychic self. Thanks. Okay, that's the last one. We're going to rustle around in here. Okay. Oh, isn't that interesting? The Hierophant card. We're going to get some news about like governmental structures, and there might be some change this week, or rumors of change. Like one of the candidates might gain some real footing this week, and somebody. A Hierophant has to do with institutions, so that's and cultural institutions. So that's like schools, that's marriages, that's political or government. And when you get the Hierophant, it means in your own life, it's going to be something coming up to do with following rules, like the government rules. This is a week that a lot of people are filing their taxes. It also has to do with like church, anything that's an institution that's kind of has rules, that's a little bigger than we are, and that we kind of have to pay attention to. So you might be thinking about school for your kids coming up in September, or I think this has a lot to do with like registering to vote and paying taxes. Sorry about that. That's not very exciting, but it's good. And this also has to do with in your own life. It's a good time to really think of yourself. Take back your power. Think of yourself as being the person with power in your own life. It's a good time to set up a structure or plans for the next month. And it's a good time to sort of think about what habits you want to cultivate in order to have the life you want to have. So there we go. And while I'm waiting for our first caller to sort of get her pizza and get her jammies and get set up, this past 3 months has been a season in which there have been a lot of eclipses. I didn't used to believe, we got Alicia in Charleston, South Carolina. Hi, Alicia. I'm just going to finish the sentence. And Charleston, it's so funny. I was just looking at tickets to Charleston. So maybe I'll come visit you. I was about to say that, wait a minute. You know what? I have no idea what I was about to say, and I'd rather talk to Alicia. Is it Alicia or Alicia, dear? Hi, welcome. Dear, you there? Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, good. Nice to meet you. So I like to connect with
Nice to
people.
meet you.
Thank you. Through their birthdays. So if you can tell me what day your birthday is, that'd be great.
January 27, 84.
Oh, cool. So 84. Oh, you're Year of the Tiger. Just barely. And an Aquarius. We love that. And do you pronounce your name Alicia or Alicia?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Do you pronounce your name Alicia or Alicia?
Alicia, Alicia.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. Okay. This feels to me like we kind of have two questions. Let's see what we can get done for you today. If you have a work and a love question, which one would you like to start off with?
Can you repeat that? I can't hear you well.
Oh, tell you what, I will hold my microphone up. Can you hear me now? Oh,
a little bit. It's just breaking up.
All right. Oh. Well, I will speak loudly. Loudly. So what can I help you with today? What would you like to know?
I just want to know how can I build my brand new business that I just started. It's mostly online, but I do have to go out, engage, and promote. Also, I just became an author of some books. I'm also a life insurance agent. I just need to know what strategies do I need to take to make it work, because so many people are not so receptive. I don't know if it's because they don't want to help or they feel the help they need, or maybe I'm just not approaching the correct way. Basically, I'm just trying to get my maximum finances I can receive from my business. Being self-employed, where I don't have to work for anybody anymore.
I think that's a great question. And you can do this. The problem is you're a little too scattered. The other problem is right now, the best strategy that I'm getting for you, and let me illustrate this with sort of a little example. Okay, if you're a kid on the beach, right, and you want to build a sandcastle, and you don't know the other kids, you want to get other kids to help you build a sandcastle, right? But if you go up to each kid and say, I want to build a sandcastle, you want to help? They'd be like, I'm busy. I don't know you, whatever. However, if you sit down and build a spectacular sandcastle all on your own, pretty soon the other kids will come around and they'll say, can I help? Can I join you? So what I'm saying here is I think you need to consolidate your branding and your image and take all of the things you're doing. I'm very excited that you're an author. Do you want to tell me what one or two of your titles are so we can give you a little free advertisement in countries all over the world? What?
I can't really hear you. Are you asking me what my business is about?
No, I asked you if you wanted to tell me what some of the titles of your books are. I think that's in your end. Maybe go to a part of your house where the reception is better. How's that? And
You're
maybe you're
the titles of my books?
Just a title, yeah.
Okay, the first one is called Herbal. The first one is Herbal Healing for Your Mind, and it's located at Barnes and Noble. And then the second book is Health and Wellness Tips for Caregivers, and that can be found on the Kindle Amazon store.
Caregivers? I have to buy this book, Health and Wellness. I'm a caregiver for my both my partner who's cancer and for my 90-year-old mother. That's fantastic. I can't wait to buy these books. So it sounds like you're an accomplished healer and herbalist. It sounds like you're very empathetic. Right away, I can tell you that what I'd like to see you do is also, I think you're very attractive. So I can't see you, but I can see you with my heart. And it sounds like you're a woman of color, and there's a huge opening for your wisdom and your beauty now in our culture. So that's a great thing. All of these things work to your advantage. What I'd like to see you do is have maybe your name and a catchy business title, or maybe just your name, consolidate, that just have an umbrella title, like you're a healer who works in different modalities, just healer and helper, something like that. And then there are so many things you can do here. What I'd like you to do is look up ways you can do on your website, you can do affiliate marketing. You can have the books for sale on your website. You can link up with a caregiver thing. You can link up with AARP, the American Cancer Society. There's so many places that are looking. Believe me, caregivers, we really, really want to be recognized and helped. We will buy anything that says, here's some tips for you. So right there, you have a built-in audience. The herbal stuff is fascinating. I mean, yeah. There are also grants. If you go online, and look for, you're also what?
Okay. And I'm also Alzheimer's and dementia specialist. That's what my business is about. I created an e-learning course, but I have not released it yet because I have a certification that I have to receive before I'm able to release it for my state. So that's another thing that's really been bothering me. And I've been getting most of the money, but then something comes up and I have to spend the money, but I'm going to keep going because that's what's going to really make the big portion of my business. That's what my business is about, Alzheimer's and dementia. That's what my big sale is going to be, releasing that e-learning course that I built from the ground up. But I can't release it to the world until I have that certification to say that I can teach in my state. So I have the people that I'm connected with that I'm going to get certified through. I already exempt one exam I don't have to take because of my knowledge and credentials that I already have. But to become an educator, in order to release the course, I have to take that course in order to be able to release my course that I created. So I just want to know what do I need to do to make sure things work for me.
I think you have. I'm going to turn this light up. I think you have enough credentials right now to. You don't need to be a certified educator to release an online course. You don't. Trust me. I would get on that course.
See, this is the thing. I was told I had to be certified because some of the content belongs to the company that I got certified through, but it's my course because I built it from my answers. It's just their outline. So I was told I had to get certified to be able to release it if I'm going to use their content. In order for me to have my people come take a course through me so that they can get certified, I had to be certified through the company they're going to go through to say that
Like what I'm doing is they're taking the course through me to prepare them. Then they go to the company that I'm associated with to actually take the exam to get certified. So I was told that's the reason why I have to get certified in order to do that, so they can be able to come through me, get the course, take the course, and then go through the national company to actually sit for the exam. So the information would match that they're learning for me and going to take the test. But all my other courses, I wouldn't have to because I already have enough education and I have a degree and all that. So I'm just trying to, I don't want to let that course go to waste because it took me a while to build it. So I'm trying to do what I have to do to get the money just to take the course, and then I have to come up with another piece of money to actually sit for the educated exam. So that's what.
This is very complicated, and I think what very smart people do is we unnecessarily we unnecessarily complicate stuff. So I'm going to draw. Okay, the first thing I'm getting. This card is for you. This is the Chariot card. This is specifically when I read. This is a card of a business that's owned and run by a woman. And it's a woman who is using both her left brain, which is the structured, analytic sort of very, very put together brain, and her right brain, which is her intuitive brain, her writing ability, her creativity, and her charm, which is you. So, and sometimes when we're starting a new phase, excuse me, what we will do is we will make things more complicated. So what I'm going to say is, yes, don't use their content right now, and don't put pressure on yourself to release that particular course right now. What I would do is keep it simple. You have certifications. If you want to just write a quick book about dementia and Alzheimer's, or a quick book about caretaking, or what I would do is work with what you have right now, because you already have enough that if you just, like with the caregiver's book, as I said, call AARP tomorrow and ask how you can link your marketing to them, the American Association of Retired People. Call the Cancer Society. Offer to, they're big places out there that will more than meet you halfway and give you money and promote your book and have it on their website, and you get money for clicks. So there's that.
I didn't think about that, because I already have two books that's already created, the health and wellness tips for caregivers. I even have a store that's built inside the book for like products and stuff that a caregiver is going to always need. You don't have to be in the medical world. Everybody's a caregiver at some point. You're taking care of somebody. And then my other book is the herbal healing for your mind. It's based on Alzheimer's and dementia. Like, what herbs would you use to that can help with dementia, Alzheimer's, what foods is best to eat. Like, I already have two books that's out, but I didn't think to call these different societies, because I'm already subscribed and a member of them. I didn't think to call them and tell them what I have to offer.
Yeah, and the fact that you're already a member and a subscriber makes it even better. They're going to be interested. There's also small business grants, and also, you know, a lot of my friends were African American and in the same situation as I am. They get a little miffed because sometimes the resources aren't geared to their interests, their cultures, and their way of thinking. So there's a whole huge market there for you. Can you see that? There are.
And I couldn't hear the beginning of what you were saying. Would I be able to go back and hear that, because it was messing up real bad? This must be meant for me to hear this piece, because it's so very clear. I couldn't hear you in the beginning, what you were saying, the first 5 minutes.
Well, I'm so glad you can hear it now. And just go to YouTube and put in, my name is Perry Lyons, so that's P-E-R-I, Perry Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S, and it's Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic. It'll come up in YouTube. This will be up tomorrow. You can go back and listen to it, but there's a huge amount of opportunity around you right now. And what I'm going to say is...
Is it P-E-R-R-I?
P-E-R-I, one R, like periwinkle. Yeah, like periwinkle. P-E, one R.
You got a pencil and paper? I'm writing it down.
I can hand it to you through the phone.
It's so important. Be quiet, baby. Hush. Sorry. Perry.
No problem.
P-E-R-I.
P-E-R-I. And my last name is Lyons. L-Y.
P-E-R. Oh, I can't hear you. P-E.
P-E-R-I. P-E-R-I.
P-E-I-R-I.
Just one R. P-E-R-I. This is great because now all of my viewers are going to know how to spell my name forevermore. So Perry, like it's the beginning of periwinkle, and then my last name is Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S, like but with the Y. So L-Y-O-N-S. Yes, and L-Y-O-N-S. L-Y-O-N-S.
Okay, Perry Lyons. Okay.
And everybody's welcome to do this. You're welcome to go to YouTube. A lot of useful information on my site. If you watch a couple of shows, there's meditations, and I'll just pick a couple of shows, and I think there's a lot of good stuff for you there. Now, because I'm going to make you my only caller today, if that's okay, because you have so much to offer the world, and I just want to encourage you.
Okay.
Yeah. And to the lovely person who is waiting, thank you for waiting. Call next week and we'll put you on top of the list, okay? And now, back to you, Alicia. Hi, dear. First of all, let's use this opportunity, because life is about recognizing opportunities and taking advantage of them while they're right in front of you. So just say your first and last names and where people can find your books. How's that? That's a start. So your first name is Alicia. What's your last name? Mm-hmm.
Reed, R-E-I-D.
Okay, Alicia Reed. And tell me the names of the books.
Okay, my first book is in Barnes & Noble. It is called Herbal Healing for Your Mind.
Great. And can I get that on Amazon as well?
Yes, on Kindle, that book is just on Barnes & Noble. I haven't uploaded to Amazon yet, but my other book is on Amazon Kindle, and it is called Health and Wellness Tips for Caregivers. And when you type that in, when you go into the Kindle store, my book is ranked first. It's the first book.
That's terrific. So this is what I get from you, because you're starting a whole new life as a successful entrepreneur. And the only thing with you, and the cards just told me this, I picked another few cards while you were talking. And the cards say that sometimes you can kind of get in your own way a bit. You can overthink and overcomplicate. Yes. And when you do that, just take a deep breath.
I overthink a lot.
Yes, you do.
I'm very analytical. Oh my God. Barry, you are so right. And I have so much fun. A lot. You are so right. I had one just before you called me. Oh my gosh. You are so right.
So and I know that because you have the kind of, thank you for saying that, because you have the kind of intelligence that also can sometimes go with a little anxiety. I'm going to teach you right now and all of my viewers and listeners, because I love you all. And Alicia, you're so much fun. I'm so glad you called. Here's a little 2-minute thing you can do. If you've got some sort of issue and it's just messing with you, close your eyes and go to a place where you feel relaxed. I go to this beach in Haiti I went to once. Go to a place in your mind that makes you feel relaxed. Now, next you say to yourself, who would I be without this issue? Who would I be if I wasn't? So if it's like, what do I do next? Well, it's like, well, who would I be in myself if I just knew what to do? And then kind of feel yourself be that person, and it will work. You get this feeling of like being this person who just knows what to do next, right? And then the third thing you do is just be grateful. So after you get the answer, or you just go into being who you are without that issue. And then you just say, thank you, just gratitude. And So that three-step process is going to be really useful for you. So here's my advice for you. Try not to overthink. Let yourself be as successful as you're going to be. Use the great thing that's going on in our culture right now. You not only are working with caregivers like me, but there are a lot of women like me who are African American who would really like your help and guidance, but who are caregivers.
Yes.
And I think that you have so much to offer the world. So, do the course later. Don't make that a thing that you have to do before you start. Start now. It's never going to be the right time to start.
Okay,
it's always the right time to start.
I have products that I built, like planners, and I have a lot of prayers for caregivers when you're struggling, going through a hard time.
Well, we're done, but thank you for being here, and just thank you, everybody. Alicia, that was great. Thank you all for being here, and my cherished ducklings, and Alicia Reed, great to talk to you. And we'll see you next week on Perry Lyons, New York City Celebrity Psychic on Moonstruck, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for a gateway to the spirit world with Gail Moffat. Live from GailMoffat.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is a gateway to the spirit world.
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. My name is Gail Moffat, and you can find me on all sorts of places because I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. So just try and find me. Anyway, I believe we have 2 callers that are going to call in, and I'm going to be doing some readings for them, which is rather exciting. But before we go to them, I thought I'd just do a little talk and see where we go with this. And my first sort of area of talking is I was thinking about how when we look at people who are what we call clairvoyant or psychic, and they always talk about how they have a guide. And of course, I have a guide too, and I have more than one, and that's not too uncommon either. I'm not alone in that. And now I was sort of thinking about this, and I was thinking that for those people that consider themselves not psychic or able to do what I'm doing in any way, they probably think to themselves, wouldn't it be nice to have a guide? And I really wanted to just say to you that you do. You absolutely do, because every single person on this planet will have a guide, will have somebody that is allocated to them to help them on their path. And when we look to sort of having a reading on this program, and we think about how we would like to sort of connect with spirit and have some guidance or something of that nature. So what I'm saying is that it may be that you're unable to connect to your guide, but your guide will be prompting you, will be nudging you, will be bringing things into your life that you think, well, how did that happen? Or it's all going on despite you not being aware of it, because ultimately the objective of the guide is to make sure that you keep on track and keep to the path which is meant to be, because you've come to the earth to learn all sorts of lessons and do all sorts of things and have such fun and probably a bit of tears as well, because that's life. None of us are immune to that, but and there they are, sort of nudging you and maneuvering you in certain ways. Obviously, one of the things that we do have is free will. So I don't want to say to you or to let you think that this guide is responsible for absolutely everything that's happened. And I can just sort of see some of you sort of later on tonight, how dare you do this to me? How dare you? Because that's not how it happens either. We have to take a little bit of personal responsibility for some of our actions that happen. But in addition to our guides, one of the things that we will also have is that people that we've loved, people that we know very well, who have passed over, will be around in our lives and be interested in lives. So let's say, for instance, you have a mum or a dad or somebody like that, and they will be just as interested in you and your life as they were before when they were here. They will want to nurture you in the same way that they did when they were here. And sometimes when people didn't do the nurturing when they were over here, when they were here, and they get over there and they think, oops, I've made a mistake, and they want to put things right, and then they want to do the nurturing. So it's interesting. In what I'm trying to say is that we do have a support network around us. We do have guides and loved ones that are around us. So whatever is going on in our lives, it's always good. Talk out to them. Ask them for your help. Ask them, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? And you'd be amazed, sort of, just sort of like that. They will have some sense of responsibility themselves. Obviously, their responsibility is to help you, stick to the path. But also, their responsibility is because they love you. They want to support you and help you get out of all sorts of sort of sticky situations, perhaps, or get into a sticky situation, whatever. Anyway, so that's my little talk about who's around us, and so it's not just, so when you think of clairvoyants or mediums or psychics that have guides, it's not just us, it's all of us. We all have people that are there to look after us. So I think we can go to a caller, and I believe we have Jean in Mandeville, Louisiana. Are you there, Jean?
Yes, I am, Gail.
Oh, hello, and how are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm all right, but I'm absolutely fed up with this lockdown. I'm desperate to go out, but I'm not. But I'm also too scared to as well. But anyway, we have different rules and regulations over in England than what you've got there. So I don't know what's going on in Louisiana, because different states have different situations, don't they?
Right.
Anyway, I am a medium, and what that means is I'm able to connect to my guide, and I can either look to give guidance, or I can connect to somebody that you've loved that has passed over and bring them forward. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
I would love guidance, and it would be nice if somebody who I loved and missed could come through.
Okay. Well, as I'm standing here, I was going to sort of, pin you down as to what sort of guidance you want, but I've got somebody sort of pressing on me at the moment, and I feel that you have a grandfather that's in spirit, and I almost want to call him like Grandpop or that sort of name. Would that make sense to you?
No, I was really hoping my mother would come through to me, or my sister who passed.
Did you say your mother or your sister?
No, my brother or my sister.
Oh, brother and sister. Because well, I've got a gentleman, and I feel and I feel that he went. This person that I've got here is I feel he's a grandfather, and I feel like I want to go on your father's side of the family, and he's making me feel that there wasn't a strong connection with you. Does that make sense?
There was no connection with the
Right.
no.
Okay. Because I felt like you didn't really know him, or there was something of that nature, and I know that he's coming through for a particular reason, and I feel like he's been assigned to come through and deal with a matter that he feels is quite important, and he feels that he needs to settle something that has been has caused almost like a ripple effect in your family, that and he's making me feel that he needs to almost like put the record straight. Would that make sense as I'm starting to talk and connect with him?
It's like I don't even remember talking to my grandpa, either one of either side. But
Yeah. Well, what he's saying to me is that he's saying to me that um, he he makes me feel that outside of his family that he was quite respected, but inside his family he makes me feel that he was a little bit of a tyrant. He was quite difficult and demanding, and I feel that he wasn't always kind to your father, and I feel also that he caused your father a lot of pain and hurt as a result of his actions. And and I don't know whether what actually happened, why there's this sort of gap, but I know that he feels responsible for how your father is, because as a result, he's saying to me, as a result of his actions, his concern is that he affected your father in a way that sort of wounded him. And I don't mean in a physical wound. I mean more of an emotional wound. And he's saying to me that he feels that he feels a sort of sense of responsibility to how your father turned out, and also I feel like he wants to come directly to you and to make an apology, because what he's saying to me is that your father, as a result of his upbringing and the way that he was treated, ended up having how can I put this? I feel that your father, as a result of this, was didn't act in accordance with your wishes as what you would have liked for a father. Would that make sense to you?
My dad was the best, most respectful man I have ever met in my life. It might have been in spite of it. I have no idea what he went through with his family. It just never talked about him. So
yeah, because I do know that with your grandfather, because he makes me feel that he needs to apologize to you, because he makes me feel that he has impacted your father, and in some way there was a wound that never ever got resolved or sorted out, and he's saying to me that he feels that he is he just keeps on saying to me he's responsible for how your father how your father there is something with your father that he your grandfather feels that your father it's almost as though, you know how somebody went out to war and they come back from war and they don't talk about it, and they don't sort of but they've got those wounds, they've got those scars, but they don't talk about it. And I just get that feeling with him that there are some wounds and some scars that your grandfather is aware of, and is embarrassed to let you know that he would have liked to have been a better father to him. And also, in addition to that, if he feels that if he was a better father to him, then he perhaps would have had he would like to have a better connection to you, and he's making me feel that the reason why he doesn't have a better connection to you is because of the way he treated your father, and he makes me feel like there's a gap and it's a wound that never really got healed. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I just followed the word.
Yeah, because I'm not familiar. I have no idea.
Okay, well, is there anyone that you can ask about this? Because I don't want to force something on you, but I do feel I got that quite clearly. It's because he's making me feel like he should have been a better father, grandfather to better father to your father. And he's saying to me that if he had changed his ways, or not been so stubborn or pig-headed, he would have been in your life. And I feel like he makes me feel like he lived quite a long life as well. And I don't feel like he passed young. And because he's saying to me that, and he's just really wanting to apologize to you because as a result of his actions, you were restricted in your family life. And I feel that your restriction is not having him in your life. But perhaps you can, is there anyone that you could ask? Because
not that I know of, no.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you should go to another medium then, because I feel like this is a strong message that is wanting to come through, and I think that this it is something that because he needs to get his. It's like, in my experience, what happens is that when people go over to the spirit world, they get their knuckles rapped for things that they have done, and what will happen is that through mediums they will always want to come back and apologize, and I feel very strongly that his actions impacted family life, because I don't know what happened, whether he passed early or whether he was estranged from your father, but for one reason or another, I know that he feels guilty because he should have been there to support you and your family in the later years, and he wasn't, and he makes me feel that it was direct. He is a direct result of his actions, his behavior, and how he hurt your father. And I know that this was quite important, because normally I would just sort of push the point, and if you wanted a brother and sister, and I would have brought them through, but he was standing right in front of me before I even started, and I knew that he wanted to talk. So I'm going to leave it there, because we've run out of time. But I just, and maybe that's something that you can look into. I'm sorry that you don't recognize it, but I do feel quite strongly those are the words that he was giving to me, and I feel that and as I'm looking to him now, he's just taken a step back, and I feel like his shoulders are hunched, and he's just like emotional, because he feels like he hasn't achieved what he's set out to achieve, and I can feel that.
I remember that. There's just nobody I can think of at this time, that I can ask.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I've got another caller waiting. But if you want to connect with me and talk to me further, do find me on Facebook. My name is Gail Moffat, and maybe we could have a little bit of a chat in more detail or something like that, which is fine.
Thank you so much, Gail. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. And I hope we can throw some light on this, because sometimes it's the things that we don't know about is the biggest proof about mediumship. And so let's see what happens. And thank you very much for calling in, Jean.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I have now I'm not quite sure how to pronounce Lene in Syracuse, New York. Are you there?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you? So I am a medium, and I am able to connect to loved ones or give you guidance. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
Probably more so guidance.
Okay, and where would you like me to focus? We're very short of time, so let's get to the point so I can give you what you need.
Okay. Maybe like with relationships or like career and like life-wise with the like well.
I've got relationship, career, and then something else I didn't quite catch.
Well,
Oh, love, sorry. And is there somebody in particular that you'd like me to focus on, or to see who's going to come forward?
we'll just see what happens.
Right, okay. So I have I'm just going to go straight to my guides and see what he has to say. I'm being told that you have in your love life, I'm being told that you've got yourself in a bit of a pickle more than once, and I feel like your emotions and your love life has, I feel like it's gone up and down and up and down, and I feel like that it hasn't sort of particularly run smoothly for you. Would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm being told also that that you have been asking out, why can't I have that perfect relationship? Why can't I, fall in love? Why can't I? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel also that one of the things that I'm being told is that your your like relationships of the future, I'm what I'm being told is, I almost feel like some of the people that you have sort of dated or been involved with or whatever, I feel like you've really had your fingers burnt. But what I'm being told is that you've learned numerous lessons from this situation. Or situations, should I say? And I feel like you've really sort of reevaluated who you are and what you want out of a relationship moving forward. Because what I'm getting is that you've learned you know, like, I don't want that again, and I don't want this, and I'm going to be careful about that, and I was a bit naive here, and I shouldn't have done that there, and does that make sense to you? It's almost like you've created a bit of a love map. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, for sure.
And what I'm being told is that almost like the next person, you've made a decision in your mind that you are going to be very careful and cautious over who you're going to meet, and get involved with, because what I'm being told is, in your own mind, you're thinking that you don't want to make any mistakes ever again. It's like you're done with mistakes, and you're quite firm in your thinking that you would like to get it right next time. And what I'm being told is that I'm being shown, I don't know whether you're religious in any way or whether you're going to become religious, but I feel like there's some sort of religious setting where you're going to meet somebody. Would that make sense? And it may be just a spiritualist church, or it may be like an ordinary church. I don't know, but I just feel like there's a religious setting where you're going to meet somebody. Um, and would that make sense to you?
Well, I'm not typically religious, but
No, I didn't think you
I'm
were,
also,
but I felt this was something unusual as well. Like I didn't feel that you were religious, but I just get that feeling, because what I'm seeing is you sat on a pew in a church holding hands with somebody, and that's how it's been shown to me.
okay.
Um,
That's
and
interesting.
I know, isn't it? Because I did feel straight away. I thought, I don't feel she's very religious. And so I really did feel that this was something that was unusual, an unusual setting. But what I want to say is that you will meet somebody. And I don't know whether I feel like you're meeting somebody, and I feel like you're going to be encouraged in that direction, and you're going to be more open and willing to embrace the idea of I feel like it's Christianity or religion of some sort, where you're going to embrace it because you're wanting to have a different life. You want to have somebody that's got good values and good morals and decent, and you're going to see it in that way, almost as though that somebody from this sort of environment is so different, so drastically different from anyone else that you've been involved with. And I just get the feeling that this is going to be the person that's actually going to treat you right, treat you well, and you're going to end up being quite serious with him. And I'm just being told by my guide, his name's Arthur, he is going to fall madly in love with you. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
And I do feel that you're going to end up getting married to him as well, because I've just been shown a ring on your finger. But it's going to be massively different from anything that you've ever experienced. It's almost like you're going to go reinvent yourself.
Yeah,
so,
it almost sounds like the opposite of what I go for.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm being told. Nothing like what you would normally look for, but I think it's your desire to actually have a relationship where somebody treats you right, and that's where you'd be open to it. So I want to thank you for calling in, and I hope that helps. And yeah, so thank you very much.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Insights into Consciousness with Anna Olson. Live from AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Insights into Consciousness
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Anna Olson here on my show tonight, Insights into Consciousness on A1R Radio. I'm here every Thursday, Pacific Standard Time at 6:30, Eastern Standard Time, 9:30. And today I just wanted to go over some questions that I know a lot of people have right now, some topics that are on a lot of people's minds. It feels like everybody that I talk to lately is concerned about the pandemic with COVID-19, or it seems like there are questions about race wars, law enforcement, riots, different parts of the country that seem like they're just going crazy right now. And there are a few things that really give us some power and some insight as to what exactly is going on and why. And I really want to look at the actual reality of what is actually going on. And that's really what I was asking Spirit to help me with today on my show, because I really think that it could give some people some insight into what it is that we really need to focus on right now and what is actually a distraction or a waste of our time. And a lot of people will go back and forth in between really feeling connected to reality. And in addition, some people go back and forth from going, okay, this is reality, this is real life, and this is my fears and what seems to be going on in the world. So I wanted to cover that. I'm also going to do a card pull and some reading on what Spirit wants me to say about the timeline and what's actually happening and what's going to happen. This is all going to be from Spirit so that I can hopefully answer some people's questions. And the really great thing about Spirit is that when people watch this video or listen to this show, it's going to be the right person reached at just the right time. Whoever watches it, whoever comes across it, is going to be the person that Spirit wanted to reach. So I trust Spirit, and I trust the messages that I get from my guides. So with full protection, actually, I'm going to just go into some of the things that I have received from Spirit already, and then I will do a card pull on the topic as I go. First of all, the topic I wanted to focus on first is media and how it affects us and how we respond to media. Now, with today's fast-paced way of life and with most of our reality being based on either our cell phones or the internet or the news, our TVs, that's really the only link that we have to what's happening exterior to our own homes and our own lives. That's really the only information that we have. Now, if we follow what media is saying right now, basically most of us are aware that it's not the complete reality around us, and that it's just the media is just picking up on the bad things or the serious things, which are few and far between in reality. Now, with how much hype is going on lately, though, I think a lot of people are being caught up in it. And then when we are isolated to our homes or to one small area during a pandemic, really that's the only link we have to the outside world. A lot of our days or a lot of our times that we're spending in our daily lives. A lot of people are not even work right now. Many people are working from home, or they are utilizing unemployment. And, it's really been interesting to see how people's minds and consciousness have shifted during this time. I want to bring the awareness back to the fact that if we go out in the world, these things we're seeing in the media are happening in a very minuscule scale. So most of the time, most people are good. And most of the time, these things happening are rare. The world is not ending, the sky is not falling. And with everyone inside during this pandemic and either loss of employment or employment inside the home, people are losing out on that connection to going outside, being around other people, and they're losing touch with reality a little bit. And I have to warn that there's a delusional piece of this where we are internalizing what we are seeing in this very minuscule percentage of what is our reality on the media. And that is something to really be aware of from what I get from Spirit, to get off your phones, to get off our phones. I know I've had days where I'm on my phone way too much, where I'm looking at the media, I'm looking at the news. So the news is there, the media is there to let people know what's going on and to inform the public of things that are extreme, rare, and more or less a very small percentage of reality. In addition, media only gets a very small percentage of what actually happens in these small percentage of the time situations and circumstances or events. When we look at full videos of incidences or circumstances and we compare it to a small clip, it tells a completely different story. When we have somebody who's being attacked, let's say violently on video, and it's 30 seconds long and all you see is somebody being horribly attacked, of course our first inclination is to ask ourselves, well, what happened before then? You go to look at the full video, like let's say that's 5 minutes, and then you go to see that this was actually an act of self-defense. Or if you play it in slow motion, you can see that there are things that you miss when you play it full speed because there's so much that the human eye misses at any given time. And when somebody is in a situation of life or death, they can see things more clearly because of neuroepinephrine or adrenaline that is released by the adrenal glands with norepinephrine in the brain, which slows down time seemingly, and they can notice every little detail. Whereas when a person who is just watching an incident on, let's say a video, they're seeing it in real time with no adrenaline or norepinephrine to aid in slowing down detailed basically clips of that time frame. Now, when we are judging other people from a distance, that's only hurting ourselves because it's bringing in a very negative vibe into our electromagnetic field. We are much better off looking at our own immediate reality and seeing how we can improve that and improve the realities of other people, especially the people who we hold close to us and who we love, and to really work on our relationships. Even with our pets. Our pets are going to be really scared with this 4th of July stuff going on and fireworks. And do you have, Benadryl or whatever else the veterinarian would suggest that you give your dog? Always ask your veterinarian first, because Benadryl can interact with other medications, and I don't ever diagnose or suggest any sort of drugs for animals or humans. But if that's what your vet says, are we doing that? Are we basically really taking care of us, ourselves, and our own? And I feel like that's what we need to come back to, that's really get out of other people's business or vibe and get back into ourselves. So the media is a very hyped up, big scale, widely spread rendition of probably a fake reality, most of the time a fake reality. And they're blowing it up as it's actual reality when it is in fact not the case. The fact is that usually is a very small percentage of the time that is the case, and then we have to open it up to, how do you interpret it? Were you there? Did you see every detail? What was left out? Was there a story before that? Was this person, there's just all of these things that we cannot possibly understand or judge, and that's why it's not our job to judge these things. And that's why we have investigators, we have people whose job it actually is, who are trained in these matters. So really, this is where I'm coming back to worrying about how we're treating our fellow human being, and we can try to act like the judge or the judger on 40,000 other people at a time. And what good would it do? Well, it brings down our electromagnetic field. It is a waste of our consciousness. It is a waste of our time. Now, I could even go as far as to say, in addition, it is a negative vacuum effect to our time, our electromagnetic field, and what we could really be bringing ourselves forward and doing. If we spent all the time that we have spent stressing out about things that we weren't even there for, that don't involve us, that don't have anything to do with our lives personally, let's say, okay, that we really can't do anything about. That is an energy suck that is going to reduce the level and the frequency of our vibration, which is actually going to put us in a depressed state, a lower frequency state, bringing things to us and becoming a magnetic field to attracting the things that don't serve us and put us in that same vibe. Our aura, our electromagnetic field, our nervous system is actually an antenna. It brings things and attracts things to us according to the frequency that we are on. It is physics, it's science. You cannot surpass this in any way. We as human beings have to adjust our thoughts to attract good things to us, or the things that we want in our lives. If we are on a good vibe of love and above, love, joy, happiness, we will emanate that vibe and we will attract that to us. Now, this is science. This is not some idea somebody came up with that isn't proven. Many people through experience and experiential means have proven this time and time again, and they have taught it. And I myself also have practiced this, and I know that it is something that works. That said, I wanted to really look at what is going on in the world and what it's really about, so that we have real answers based on reality. So what I do is I ask Spirit, what Spirit is ready or feels it is appropriate to reveal at this time. The first thing that I go into is, why are we having the pandemic? Okay, I can give you my own experience first and foremost, and that is that what I've noticed with all of the people I've been working with, I work with a lot of people pretty regularly. And what I've noticed is an increase in their higher consciousness during this time, during the pandemic. Many people who study enlightenment, the power of consciousness, the law of attraction, we all have a very clear understanding that this pandemic and everything that's going on right now is really increasing our consciousness, helping us to realize what's important, how to focus on the current moment, the present moment, how to focus on the now, and really look at what is it that's important for now, what is it that we can actually do something about. Family, friends, less materialism, shallow things, focusing more on increasing our emotional intelligence, even our intellectual intelligence. What are we believing that people are telling us? Are we so right-winged or left-winged that we can't see any sort of balance in between? Are we actually considering somebody else's life or their perspective or their life experience? These are all good questions to ask ourselves. And I really feel that the more we get away from anything digital, it's not only good for our physical body, but it's also good for our minds, our spirits, our electromagnetic field. And we'll start getting back to reality and really figuring out how to problem solve and how to make our situation better. A lot of people are coming down with depression right now because of the lack of sunshine, the lack of moving, getting out, socializing. There are ways that we can surpass this. And then I think most of our digital time should just be spent FaceTiming or calling people on video, phone, interacting with people who we haven't been able to see for a while, extending love and care for those that we care about, and really just job searches, things like that. Media is not our friend right now. Social media can be our friend if it helps with our income. But I really do feel that the more that we are focusing on the negative, the more it will bring down the universal consciousness to a lower frequency of fear or anger or hate or wanting to fight. So Mother Teresa is one of my main people that I look up to, have looked up to for a long time. And I always remember her talking about she would definitely love to be part of a movement to protest or to go and, well, I don't even know if she'd be part of a protest, because her idea of really doing good in the world and really making things press forward is to go and advocate for something positive, for what you do want, what she does want in the world, something good, not to fight or go against something that she doesn't like, because Mother Teresa got to where she was because she understood the law of attraction in a way of spirituality and through Christianity, that when we focus on what we do want and we focus on what is positive and what cause we want to have more of, pro-peace would be her event, not anti-war. She would never be part of anti-anything. She would only be pro insert your positive subject or topic. So I think when we are approaching it in this way, there's more room for love and connection to others and really making a movement go forward in our lives. That said, I'm going to pull a card, and I'm just going to start with a reading from Spirit about the current situation. And I've had all my own conversations about it. So what I do is I put that into the back of my head. I clear it out of my consciousness. And what I do is I just listen to Spirit to see what Spirit has to say to everyone, because oftentimes, if not all the time, it's extremely different from what I would have said or from what I would have gotten on my own. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pull a card with the question, where did this pandemic come from? Why is it in the world right now? The first question that I'm asking, I'm processing and I'm meditating on the answer. So I actually got the Eight of Wands. What I see is it's a power struggle. So this is what I suspected, warfare. It's a type of warfare where there's a play of power at hand, and it doesn't have to make sense in the media, because again, the media doesn't even know half of what's going on with the higher ups in politics or in the world. We have secret agencies for a reason, because they're secret. They don't tell the media anything, and they don't tell anybody anything. So we do have top secret lots of things, guys. There's a lot of higher ups. The only thing that I'm really allowed to know safely and with best interest at heart and highest and greater good is that it is a power play, and that we are entering into a battle between countries. So we're looking at something that's happening in a sense of the beginning of a power play. Now we're going to have to really figure out who's going to come out on top with the economy, and who in the world is going to be ahead in general. Now, if a country, I'm feeling like if a country doesn't have enough weapons, one thing they can do is attack an economy of another country, okay? I'm also getting that, certain groups have had to use things like suicide soldiers and things like that, because they don't have funding. They don't have other means of going to war in a more ethical way. So we're looking at ways that poorer countries or individuals would create wars or power plays because they don't have other means to do so. So they take the only route that they can mastermind with. They're geniuses. They're smarter people. They're scientists. And, I really feel like the U.S. is really going to be in limbo with the money, and that is going to be an issue. Now, instead of panicking, I say, let's look at history. What did our elders do during the Great Depression? What did our elders do during World War II? What did great grandparents do when they were having a rough time financially, or when they really needed to check their resources and retain them or use them wisely? That's what's coming up from Spirit. Now, if anybody has any other questions about this topic or any other topic, you can always message me. You can get to me, you can contact me by emailing me on my website. You can go through my website, AnnaOlsenIntuitive.com. That's at the bottom of the screen, but it's also Anna, A-N-N-A, Olsen, O-L-S-E-N, Intuitive, INTUITIVE.com. That's A-N-N-A. OlsenIntuitive.com. And you can contact me there. Do not use the chat because I don't check it. You can definitely email me from the contact page there. You can also contact me on Facebook, Anna Olsen Intuitive, and you can ask me any question that you want for me to cover next week on my show. And I will do another reading and I will ask Spirit the questions that you want to ask. So the next question that I have is, what is it that we need to do as a worldwide universal consciousness of people, human beings? What is it that we all need to do right now and focus on to really be the most successful? I want to give my listeners the best tools in their bag to be the most happy, the most successful, and to give you guys insight so that you'll have what you need. And really, I feel like what I got was the High Priestess, and she was inverted. And I will just show you this card. So the High Priestess is inverted, meaning she was upside down. Now, when a card is inverted, that can either mean the opposite of the meaning of the card, or it can mean that the meaning is magnified and pronounced. I'm getting that the meaning of this card is pronounced here, and that we need our balance of logic and emotional to come into play here. Now, that said, I'm going to go into feminine and masculine energy, that men tend to forego the emotional more for many reasons. I'm not going to go into that. And women tend to go into the emotional more and forego the logical. And there are many reasons for that, which I'm not going to go into right now. I'm seeing that if men are thinking more emotional right now, and women are thinking in a more logical sense right now, this will balance things out significantly, and that we'll be able to work together better. I also feel like if you're either gender and you tend to have either masculine or feminine energy that is more pronounced, that you can still follow this model despite what gender you actually are. I'm seeing that even in our without feminine masculine energy, that we also need to balance out our minds. Whereas when you're usually thinking very emotionally, usually feminine energy or women, forgo that emotionality and go into logical thinking. Go into the logic. Logically look at it as if you're looking down at the topic from an aerial view, or as if you're directing a movie and you can see it from far away as if it's going on in front of you. Try your best to take the emotion out of it and become analytical and very logical, because oftentimes with us women, we're wonderful, I know, but we tend to look at things so emotionally that we're very sporadic. We can be a little impulsive about our decision making and our words. Now's the time to take a few steps back and just be very logical and analytical. Men do the opposite of what I just said. Instead of being so analytical and logical, and perhaps stop and think about things in a more emotional way. How can you get to what your heart chakra is saying? How can you get to what your emotions are telling you? How can you get in touch with that emotional part of you? And men tend to have, or the masculine energy tends to have, a beautiful way of really evening out emotion in a very actually logical way. So this can serve us significantly right now. And I just want to point out the next card that I got is Ace of Cups. I'm going to show that very quickly. That's a beautiful cup with this overflowing amount of beautiful iridescent liquid, which to me represents finances. The cup is full, and not just full, but overflowing. And I see lotus flowers in a pond around this cup. And with the lotus flowers, we do know that that represents beauty and something, gorgeous coming out of the mud and the muck. So something beautiful and useful, because we know that they're also therapeutic, not just to look at, but to have in your space. That something beautiful and useful and amazing and gorgeous came out of the mud and the suffering. And we compare that to our lives. Something good always comes out of suffering, and something beautiful always comes out of what's bad. So when we're talking about our finances, I see that there is still a very large capability for immense financial income right now for people. And to just look at those resources and to let this be a time for us to become very resourceful and to really look at our options financially. What is it that we can do? Where is it that we can gain income, money? There are these resources. Just look for them and don't think of anything as, oh, that's not for me. Look into it, see if you can get it. Do not forego anything as if, oh, I can't do that. Now's not the time. I think that our consciousness and the way we do things is going to change significantly, even financially. I think we're going to get out of the rat race a little bit more, or even a lot more in our households. And this is going to be good for us. I think that we're long overdue for it. And I'd love to look at the positive parts of this, which is what I'm doing now. And this is what Spirit is telling me as well. So the next card that I pulled is the 10 of Wands. This is the 10 of Wands opposed to the 8 of Wands, which I first pulled. And excuse me, the 10 of Wands, let me show this one. This is a guy holding 10 wands kind of over his shoulder, and he is on his way to a castle up on a hill. He's out in this beautiful area with the sunset, and these wands have beautiful flowers on them. He's wearing kind of a neat cape. He's on his way with his power, kind of like he's taking his wands, which represent his own personal power, and he's like hiking up to the top of this castle. So this is really where it's just saying, retain your power, contain it, do not spend it all in one place. Save your stores for the long haul. Save your stores for the long journey to the castle on the hill. We're talking about finances here. We're talking about resources, and we're talking about your emotional energy. Okay, so this is basically what Spirit has said today. I'm running out of time now. I have about a minute left. But again, give me some of your questions. Let me know on Facebook. Write me, leave a comment. Give me any question you want me to answer through Spirit and through a card pull next week, and I'll do this again. I want to know exactly what you guys are thinking. If you want me to elaborate on today's show, let me know. Until next week, 6:30 Thursdays, Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week. And give me your questions. I want to know. What do you want to know? And I will answer your questions. I want everybody to feel better right now. I want to alleviate your stress. I want you to know exactly what's in store for the universal consciousness, not just for yourself, but for everyone. I'd love universal questions that apply to everybody in the world right now. So all the goings on of the world. Have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Anna Olson, AnnaOlsonIntuitive.com. You can reach me there and on Anna Olson Intuitive on Facebook. Thanks so much and have a wonderful night. I will see you next week.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Guidance with Glennis. With Glennis Ewing. Live from the tranquilroom.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Guidance with Glennis
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi there, everyone. Guidance with Glennis here for another week here at the Tranquil Room in Albury, New South Wales. Oh, I'm so excited about today. I know I announced last week that I was going to have the beautiful Beth-Elaine Haynes joining us again, and we're going to be talking about our clairs. And, you know, like everyone sent me messages saying that they were so excited to see Beth coming on again. So it's my greatest honour and pleasure to welcome the beautiful Beth. So hi, Beth. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you, Glennis. Thank you so very, very much. It's nice to get such positive feedback. And I love, you know, it's as you would know as well, Glennis, you know, one of the first questions when budding new spiritualists come in, they want to know all about the senses. So it's a wonderful subject. And as our last subject was the chakras, which is there's all the beautiful parts of the toolkit that come with being a practitioner or understanding the spirituality a lot more.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, Beth, we're going to be talking about our clairs today. Now, so for those that are joining us and are opening up more and more on their awareness, the clairs are the abilities in different modes in which we receive intuitive information, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Glennis. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. It is our hearing, our seeing, our knowing, and a combination of all the above.
Yeah. I know. I really work with my within my senses. You know, there'll be times when I'm doing a reading, and all of a sudden, you know, I'll just get this massive smell of gum leaves. And I know when I did experience that, it blew me away, because the lady, she just looked at me and she said that was my grandfather, who he was a logging contractor. So she said he always smelt like gum leaves. So for me, my personal clairs that I work with freely, that come in possibly the easiest, is the claircognizance, which I get that clear knowing. The clairvoyance is the, you know, like the clear seeing, but it's also the clairentience is, I feel, you know, it's not just the empathic side of me. I know, for me personally, because I've been doing this for so long now, that when I get absolute tingles down my arm, and specifically my left arm, I know that on a clairentience side, that's telling me that the person that's passed over has died from a stroke. And, you know, I just know, you know, I get to feel the different feelings within myself and know that it's not the empathic side of me. You know, so they're the three that really possibly work most for me. Is there a clair that you resonate with more than the others?
Clair visual. Well, I'm blessed to have all of the senses, Glennis, and I love that, you know, you've been able to identify that when this sensation comes in the left side of your body and sort of tingles, that it's the person on the other side that's communicating with you really beautifully. And the smell, I don't get, smells are, I get so excited when I get smells, because I don't get smells very often, but I get clear visual. I see spirit really, or deceased loved ones really clearly. They touch me as well, which is really, the first time that happened, I went, oh, who's tapping? But they're clear visual. I work with all the senses, and I just trust what comes through. And I think that's the biggest thing, is trusting what you're feeling, what you're hearing, what you know, what you're seeing, and developing trust in your natural abilities as a spiritual person, as a guide, as a mentor, and a person who is communicating with deceased loved ones if you're doing mediumship, because the person sitting in front of you, you know, they're vulnerable, they're most really brokenhearted, you know, they need to know that their loved one on the other side is safe, is well, is okay. So we are the deliverers of a lot of just comfort. We comfort people that are in pain through our ability with our senses, our clear senses. That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good when you can, you know, as I said, I know that when my left arm gets all those tingling feelings, that I know that I've connected with spirit, and that's how they've passed over. And just to be able to give that confirmation to the person that you're reading for, you know, and it actually, and then once the messages start coming in, it can give them so much closure that they're able to move forward, or it's that comfort that they know that, you know, they've got spirit around them and, you know, they're supported. It's such an honour to do what we do. You know, it's not something that I take lighthearted, but it's, admittingly, it did take me a little while to work out what my best clair was, you know. But, yeah, the clairvoyance is a huge one for me, and the claircognizance, the seeing and the knowing. You know, it's just like, I know when I'm doing a reading, I quite often look over people, and my eyes are always darting backwards and forwards, and it's like I've got this movie in front of me, and I'm just seeing what's going on. You know, for me, that's how I know on what's happening. You know, it's great.
It's really
good.
Because every person that comes and sees you, Glenys, brings out another aspect of your ability, but also it depends on the person. You know, you'll get people that just whoosh straight in and sit on the chair if there's a spare chair there, you know. It can be quite amusing, and because, you know, our deceased loved ones have got a sense of humour. And also I get a lot of heat in my throat chakra when the person who is sitting, or I'm talking, or I'm doing Zoom, because, you know, as you know, we work all around the world, not just in our offices, but when the person that is sitting in front of me is stuck on a mistruth about the person who is deceased, my throat chakra nearly shuts down. It just gets, my whole throat gets really hot, and I go, okay, we really need to explore this. And I, you know, and then you'll wait for messages from the person on the other side if they want to speak. So that's clairsentient as well, you know, claircognizance, because it's the knowing and the feeling. But my greatest, now that you've put the question to me and I've had a few minutes to think about it, is clairaudient, because I'm a channel. So I have conversations with people. Then they may come in, then, but that doesn't always happen either, as you know. And I think it'd be really good if we explain to people the differences. Clairvisual is exactly how it's saying, clairvoyance. So that's our ability to see through our third eye, or through apparitions or visions of those from the other side, or in a different world, because the living can communicate with us like this as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
People, you know, my mum or people that I'm close to, they'll come to me and go, oh, okay, what have they got to say? Or do I need to check in? Like I needed to check in with you for about 3 days and didn't. So you'll get messages from the living as well as those that are on the other side. And then the clairaudient is, you know, it could be repeat words that you hear, or could be a song on a radio. It can be, oh, who said that? You know, it can be something as simple as that. So honestly, if someone's got a message to get through, they'll make sure that they get it through. You know, you've heard of spirits throwing things around houses and knocking things off walls and taking things away, you know, and putting them somewhere else. You know, so if there's a message that they need to get through, they'll make sure that we get it. And if you are sensitive to your senses, then that's a blessing, because then you'll know that you've got someone who's wanting to communicate. And that's when I always tell people to stop, to look, and to listen, and to sit with it and just allow it to happen. And it's not when the phone rings, Glenys, or, oh, I think Jenny's coming. The next minute the phone rings or they're knocking at the door. That's your ability to sense, your Claire. Yeah, we're very, very blessed. We have all this amazing spiritual body that will help us understand our senses.
Yeah. I know, like, I remember doing a reading for this young lady, and I said, I could just tell that she was driving her grandmother's car, and I said, but it's almost like every time you go past a certain pole that the lights keep flashing. And she said, yeah. And I said, and there's a certain song on the radio, and it's almost like every time you get to that position on the road, those two things happen. And I said, but it was your grandmother's favourite song. And she said, that's exactly what happened. And you just know, and you get it coming through and you can see it. The message I got with all that was just to let her know that she was still with her, just not on a physical sense, but on a spiritual sense, absolutely. So obviously there was a lot of tears with that, but there was a lot of comfort. It's as I said before, it's such an honour to be able to bring comfort to these people. Because they come in quite vulnerable, and I say this word respectfully, almost desperately, to connect. So yeah, I just absolutely.
Their grief is so profound, Glenys. Their grief is so profound, and that's where trusting the messages that we get for them is a privilege and something that we need to take comfort in, that we are of great comfort to those that are still here after a loved one has passed, and trusting the clairsentience and the clairaudience and the clairvisual and the claircognizance messages that we receive enables them to, one, feel supported and loved, but able to move on with their grief. It's a blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there are still times when I sit here and go, oh my God, when you finish with the reading and you get time to contemplate the whole thing, it's just like, wow, that was phenomenal, and you just know that it's not that you change someone's life, but you can actually allow them to move forward, and it's just mind-blowing sometimes.
Yeah, it's a privilege, Glenys. It's an absolute privilege.
Yeah.
Now, Beth, sorry.
No, go say what you're going to say.
The only thing I was going to add to that is sometimes I get after messages that I have to relay as well.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Yeah. Beth, are you ready to take a caller?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we've got Charisma from Texas on. So, hi, Charisma, how are you?
Okay.
No. I just say Dave will bring her back, so we'll continue chatting away. So, Beth, do you ever, I know there are times, I get this such a metallic taste in my mouth, and that always tells me that someone's receiving treatment. It's just, I've been able to work that out. Do you get a taste at all within your senses and working with your clairs?
I see density.
Okay.
I see density, and I usually get a message. But yeah, it's just a knowing. So that would be my clairsentient. So I get a knowing, and I feel a darkness and see darkness.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. We're just waiting for Charisma to come back on. So it's interesting when you actually get time to, and I think this is really important for anyone that's joining us today and developing their awareness to actually sit. And I know when I first started, I had pen and paper with me, and just whenever I was feeling something, I would write it down. And if I was getting this taste, I would write it down, so that eventually I could see that there was an absolute pattern forming. Okay. Sorry, Beth, I'm being told that there's no video.
While that's being, click on the, while that's happening, I'm just going to do a card. And
okay.
Back on. There you are. You're there.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
There you are.
All right, yeah. So pull a card, and then we'll go back to charisma. Yeah.
Yeah, if she's still there. So that's soul song. You know, soul song. Yeah, I think that's a really nice explanation of how I feel about doing the work that I do. Glennis, is that it makes my soul sing. And I know that when you're able to create, or you're the medium, you're the catalyst in between realities and people's knowings and people's beings and people's lives. And if you're able to bring or open that channel within their mind, within their heart, within their soul to a greater version of who you are, both souls sing. Their soul sing and your soul sing. So because as a healer and as an empath and as a mentor and a coach and all the things and the many hats that we wear, is that we're here to bring people through. We're here to bring people through, and we utilize that and enable that through our many gifts and talents that we have developed and trusted. Not every single person is a healer. And so we have the opportunity to help people's souls sing.
Okay. All right. So, Beth, we've now got Shana from New Jersey online. So, hi, Shana. How are you?
I'm well.
Shana?
How are you?
Good, darling. I'm going to pass you over to Beth, and Beth's going to do a quick reading for you. So, go ahead, Beth.
Hi, Shana. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, excellent, darling. How can I be of service for you today? Do you have a question?
I have a question regarding my health. I've been ill for quite some time now, ever since I had my son, and none of the doctors really seem to know why I'm sick. And like I've been dealing with like a lot of migraines. Like I'm in pain constantly, 24 hours a day, every day, and nobody really knows why. So that would be my question.
Okay.
Why
so I'm just going to
am I ill?
Yeah, definitely. You've got you've got a lot of congestion on your lungs and your sinuses.
Okay.
So I would be giving up dairy and dairy products if I were you. I'd also be contemplating giving up dairy because dairy makes mucus, and you've got a lot of mucus. And when you've got mucus encapsulating every cell in your physical and non-physical bodies, you're going to be in pain. So your body is toxic. So when your cells are toxic, you're in a lot of physical pain. You've also have on your T11, you've got lower back issues. I would be seeking maybe osteopathic, chiropractic, or maybe bone therapy, acupuncture, because your spine is way out of alignment, especially in your mid-thoracic, which is causing you heart pain. So it's almost like you feel like your chest is imploding, which isn't nice at all. Your left hip. The left hip is also your whole skeletal system. You've got one hip back, you've got your left hip, could be mirroring you, so it could be the other way around. But your left hip is back and your pelvis is out of screw. You're out of screw width, so you're like this. So you're dominant on your right side. So your emotional side, your feminine side, isn't in balance with your masculine, so you're out of balance energetically. Physically, you are your cells are not your mindset, darling. Your cells, so it's different, which is impacting upon your emotional well-being and your health. So I would suggest a detox, lots of nice soups, rich, warm food that's going to your kidneys are cold. You need to warm your kidneys. You need to warm your gut. You need to nurture yourself inwardly as well as outwardly. And then your skeletal system needs to be adjusted because it's impacting on your central nervous system and all your major organs, your heart, your kidneys. And you've got a lot of arthritics. You've got a lot of inflammation in your body. So this is causing you to be under a lot of stress and duress. So your body is inflamed.
Okay.
Yeah.
With nothing with my thyroid?
Oh, look, you could take, what do you call it? Slightly hypothyroid, but it's not that bad. There's a little tonic that I take. I just can't remember the name of it. It's orange. What's it called? You can get it from the health food shop. I just can't remember the name of it at the moment. But it's just a little drop. I take it myself. Isn't it silly? That would help. But a naturopath, if you go to a naturopath, she'd be able to look into your eyes and see iodine.
Okay.
Iodine. Iodine. I would suggest one drop.
Iodine. Okay.
One drop or maybe 2 drops underneath the tongue of a morning would be really, really, really good. And a multivitamin B or B12 drop as well, because it's impacting on your central nervous system, all this pain that you're in. So you need to calm your central nervous system and get some iodine just to balance out the thyroid. It's not too bad at the moment. It's not that bad that it's impacting on your physical being, although bringing it into balance would be of huge benefit for you.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was powerful. Shana, just really take on board everything that Beth has told you. And straight away for me personally, I actually felt that there's a nerve being pinched for you as well. And I feel that started through the childbirth. I would be taking on board everything that Beth has said.
The first place I'd start would be a naturopath. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, because they, and then maybe an osteopath or
because I wanted to see like a functional medicine doctor, but my insurance won't cover it, and it's very expensive. So I kind of wanted to get like all of my body completely checked, like all of my like vitamin levels and all that stuff, and kind of like really dive into my body to see, what could be causing all of this, because nobody else has an answer for me.
Yeah, intuitively you know exactly what's right for you. So you are absolutely right, and that's exactly it. See if you could do an exchange. Offer. I don't know what you do yourself personally, but just see if you could do an exchange for some of your treatments or something like that. Always negotiate with your gifts as well, because you're a beautiful lady.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Lovely to meet you. I'm down here in Australia, Gold
Thank
Coast.
you as well.
It's lovely to speak with you.
Shana, I'm also getting 8 weeks, and you're going to really start feeling a massive change. I've got a lightness coming towards you. So if you take on board everything that Beth has said and just start immediately is what I'm saying. Believe me, within 8 weeks, you're going to really start feeling a massive difference within yourself. So
sensational.
Okay.
Yeah, really good things are coming, darling. They really are. But you are definitely on the right track. And believe me, you're going to be sitting back thinking about this call and being so grateful in not the too far distant future. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Good things are coming, darling.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure, darling. Absolute pleasure. You, I dare say it's nearly the middle of the night for you over there, so have a great night. And thank you for the honour of allowing Beth and I to be with you today. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Beth, is there anything else you'd like to share in regards to the Clares, or is there any message that you're getting?
I think that the message for all of us, Glenys, is to do what makes your soul sing. Tap into your divine being. Trust the messages, the visions, the feelings, the knowings that you get, and step into all that you are, and allow your soul to sing.
Okay. All right, Beth, it's time to head off again. So thank you for joining us today. I am so blessed to have you in my corner. And so everyone, from my heart to your heart, be kind to you. Have a fabulous weekend coming up. And I will be talking to you all very soon.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for your time to shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/ facebook.com/psychic radio or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is your time to shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. How are you all doing this evening? I have been feeling this full moon eclipse coming on since last weekend, and I have been clearing and changing, and boy, it's been bringing up a lot of things for me to clear and to release. So how are you all feeling with this going on? This is the third one within just a couple of months. We are in the last of the what they call eclipse season. So I thought tonight it was just so amazing looking at Saturday being the full moon and eclipse and the juxtaposition of celebrating Independence Day in America, America's birthday. And I was listening to a podcast on YouTube from Deborah Silverman, Astrology. And if you don't know Deborah Silverman, you must check her out. She is funny and witty, and she knows her stuff with astrology. But she was talking about setting the intention with America. And I thought it was so profound. So I wanted to go a little bit into eclipses and why they are so important in our times right now. So eclipses are the gateways to heightened energies. And many of you, especially you that are empaths, have already been feeling this. The heightened energies, it heightens everything, all of our emotions, from anger and sadness to love and everything in between. And a lot of times these eclipses are, brought into this whole realm so that we can cut and release what no longer serves us. It brings everything bubbling to the surface, right? So if you've had a lot of family issues going on, if there's been a lot going on with maybe your job, within your relationships with people, this is all part of it. It's that heightened energy that's asking us to take a look at what no longer serves us so that we can release that energy for something else to come in, something else that's better that will, help us in our progress and in our life and on our path. So you have to stop and ask yourself, what are the changes that you need to make? What is being brought up into your awareness right now that needs to change? And then be willing to let that go and be willing to set an intention to fill something back in. Because once you have released something, you must fill it back in with something else, with unconditional love, with an intention. Because if you don't do it, something will show up and fill that space. And it may not be something that you necessarily want in your life. So bringing intentions are really important. This eclipse is all about being open-minded, flexible, so that it can take us into the next stage of change and what is going on in our lives. Okay? So bringing this all back, it's so amazing that this happens to be on the 4th of July, of Independence Day, the day that America celebrates her birthday. And I say her, I always refer to America in the female sense. So, what a powerful thing. There's so many people out there who are asking, wow, there's so much upheaval and chaos in the world, what is it that I can do to help with that, right? So here is something really fantastic to do. On Saturday, or Friday night actually, as you are setting your intentions for yourself, setting the intention for what you want your life to look like for the next at least 3 months. That can be anything from your job to your work to your family to relationships with people. What does that all look like? Set those intentions right now. And as you're doing that, set an intention for America, not in the sense of government or anything like that, but as America, as the land, as everything magnificent that we remember America to be, and what our founding fathers saw when they first stepped foot on the soil. Say an intention for humanity, right? Say an intention that says, may there be love and joy and health and well-being for all of humanity, for America, for the world, actually, to bring us all together so that we may prosper and grow and be healthy as one. And with that, if you can imagine that if every single person in the world set an intention similar to that on Friday, imagine how it could change the world. It could change the vibration. It could change the awareness of reality. If we could all do that, it's such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful thing. So if you're looking for a way to help out, send that positive energy, set that intention for humanity, for the world, and for America, and celebrate her in the best way that you possibly can. So I hope that helps. And with that, we're going to go to the phone lines tonight. We have Belinda in Queensland, Australia. Good evening, Belinda.
Hello.
Welcome to Your Time to Shine. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What
yeah.
can we do for you tonight?
I guess I'm struggling and feeling quite alone, and not sure really what friends around me to trust. And I think I'm running around in circles, making not the best decisions at the moment. Yeah, I just want to know if things are going to improve.
Okay. Let me take just a moment here and tune into your loved ones, and let me see what they have to say, and I will be right back with you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so Belinda, so the first thing that I am getting is that, you yourself are a huge empath, and you feel very deeply. You feel for the world, you feel for what's going on, and that's coming into everything that you do, which, not unlike anybody else in the world right now that's kind of feeling all of this, but it's really taking an effect on you.
Yeah.
They're showing me that it is really starting to affect everything that you do each and every day. You're a very positive person. You're very outgoing and very loving and kind, and that shows up in every aspect of your life. And when you're feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's really hard for you to be in that space that you so like to be in, right? And so it's throwing you off It's throwing you off course a bit, and you're not really sure what to do with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of things here that you can do is to make sure that you are taking some time for you. And when I say that, I mean take a step back a little bit from everything that's going on in the world. Take a step back if you can, and then just get some silence. Let your mind be quieted for even if it's 5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
And a good way to do this is just to put your hands on your heart and close your eyes.
Yeah.
And breathe and concentrate only on your breathing. Okay? What that does is it brings everything into awareness to our heart chakra and to our heart, and it slows everything down for us. It gives us a chance to be in presence and to breathe. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be really, really helpful for you to do this. Even if you can just do it, a couple times a day.
Yeah.
Just to bring that presence back into your life, because that's really what is making you spin out of control, is that you're not being present in the present moment. And I'll tell you, it's really hard right now with what we are all dealing with, right? And what the world is dealing with. But you have to remember that you can't take it all on, because it's not for you to take on and try to fix as much as you want to try to fix it.
Yeah.
So if you can remember that piece of it, you can send love and light to the world and to all of those who may be having a hard time or suffering. But then you need to be bringing that back to yourself, back into your awareness, because that's going to help you stop spinning, so to speak.
Yes, I feel I am, and I'm making choices that probably aren't that good at the moment. Yeah.
Well, and here again, we're coming up on an eclipse, right? So there's a lot of things coming up for people that need to be released, that need to be healed, and these things are coming up for you too. So if you can stop and recognize what it is that's coming up for you, what is a trigger for you, what is making you just really angry or sad or upset or frustrated. And there's a time in there where you need to be able to release that, relinquish it, and let it go, and set an intention on what you want to have in your life.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see my friendships improving? I'm not sure about any of my friends really.
So what they're showing me on the friendship aspect of it, again, some things are coming up for people to heal around friendships, around relationships. Again, I'm being shown that people are distancing themselves, but it's not because of you, okay? It's because they have some things that they're trying to clear and trying to understand themselves. And so in order to do that, they're pulling away a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm being shown that they're going to come back around, okay?
Okay.
They're going to come back around.
Okay.
Send them love.
Okay.
Send them light. And, see yourself and see them being wrapped in brilliant white light. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
I see things really starting to shift for you coming up in late fall. I know that seems like a really long time, but things things right now for you are really, they're in this gearing up period, and so things are going to start showing up towards, I would say, like October, November time, and you're going to feel a little bit of a release and a little bit of a shift.
Okay. It's one other thing. I recently opened the door to my family, but I feel that wasn't the best idea, and I've closed it again. So I'm trying to. Do you think that's the best idea?
Hang on just a moment. So there's been some circumstances with your family that is kind of that has caused a little bit of a rift, a little bit of a separation, so to speak. I'm being shown that, again, this is all stuff that's coming up with this eclipse. Okay. So if you can just give it a little bit of time and give it a little bit of time to level out, it's all going to come back. But right now, there are some big energies at play, and you're not immune from it. There's big energies like this coming up in other people's lives as well. It's part of the collective, where people are reevaluating themselves. They're evaluating their families. They're evaluating their situations. They're showing me that this is going to take a little bit of time to heal. It's not going to be something that's going to come back around real quickly. But they're saying be patient because it'll be worth the wait. Belinda, are you still with us? I'm hoping, Belinda, that helped you, that brought a little bit of peace to you. So I just want to say thank you so much for calling in, and do set your intentions for this eclipse because it's going to be really big, okay? So next we have Marilyn in Niagara Falls, New York. Good evening, Marilyn, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Good evening.
Hi.
What can you tell me today?
Are you just looking for something in general, or do you have a specific question?
No, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. All right. Sounds good. So let me tune in and see what your loved ones have to say, and I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
Wow, Marilyn, so I just have to say, you have some fantastic energy. Your loved ones are showing me, and I feel it as well. You have a really dynamic personality. You're very strong. You know exactly what it is that you want. You're full of fire. You're full of life, and it comes through so much on every level. You have a way with people that is just absolutely magnificent. People are attracted to you, and it's your energy. It is your being, your essence, and you are here to really help people, but help them in different ways. You don't see yourself as a person to help others, but I'm here to tell you that by you being who you are, being the person that you are, that dynamic personality, you can show people different sides. You're very good at showing, being the mediator, so to speak, of different ways of doing things, of showing them, well, look at this option. Well, then there's this option. And if you go with this option, this could be a really magnificent outcome. You're a person who is kind of that person of a shoulder to cry on. Not necessarily that anybody has cried on your shoulder, but they feel very supported by you. They feel like you really do care. At your core, you really care. And so by doing this, you're healing. You're bringing love into the world. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Your team is saying, continue on with this. Keep pushing forward with this. You don't even realize what you have, the potential that you have here, and how many lives you are really touching. It's a really beautiful, beautiful thing.
Well, thank you.
You have really been doing your part to help the world, to heal the world, and do whatever it is that you can do. Are you doing a lot of donating your time? I'm seeing giving back.
Yeah, I've recently done that. Yes.
Okay.
Come in.
So, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I see. That's just that part, that giving part of you, and what it's doing is as you are giving back, you are also receiving. You have a little bit of a hard time receiving from others, and so you are very much a giver. So you have to be able to receive yourself as well, whether that be through someone helping you get through a tough time, someone giving you a compliment, whether it's a monetary value. You have to be able to open up and be able to receive, because as you open up and receive, you can give more, which gives you more to receive. So it's that balance in the universe to be able to do that. So they're saying that, work on that really, really, because receiving is really hard, especially for those who give a lot. So it is a very
yes, it is.
Yes, it's very much a practice thing. And so they're encouraging you to continue to do this, because as you do this, it just opens up more and more for you. There's something around moving. Are you physically moving? Are you physically moving to a new location?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. I see you moving. I see you changing. It's really more about changing locations rather than it is about changing homes or houses or things like that. It's pushing you. They're showing me that it's pushing you in that direction that you need to be going. So if you've been questioning whether this move is right for you, I'm getting that it's going to be a really positive change for you.
Okay.
They say don't worry about what's being left behind. You can't really look at it as being left behind. It's not going to be left behind. It's just going to be a new chapter. It's just going to look a little different than what you thought it was going to look like. Okay, so they're saying it's going to look different. So don't go into this with any preconceived ideas. Be very open to this, because what you think it might look like right now may not be what it's going to be, but it's going to be in your highest and best.
Okay.
Okay. It looks like to me that you're moving into an area that's there's a lot of nature. I see a lot of trees. And that's what you gravitate towards. You're very much about the nature. And so I see you moving into something more like that. It's going to give you that boost, that little bit of elbow room, so to speak, air to breathe, they're saying. Are you moving upstate?
I was considering leaving the state.
Leaving the state, okay. They keep showing me upper state. So wherever this is that you're looking at going, again, I just see that there's this beauty of trees and water, and it's in an upper state. That's all they keep saying is upper state.
No, it's a southern state.
Okay.
A southern state, the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, lovely. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. Well, I definitely say, thank you and the best of luck to you on this, because I think it's going to be a magnificent change for you. I think you're going to thrive, really. And that makes my heart so happy. It just feels so wonderful.
Yeah, I've been there 3 times and just came back from there, and every time I go, I don't want to leave.
Oh, I feel that. Well, Marilyn, thank you so much for calling in. We're coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So God bless you and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, that does it for us, everyone. Everybody stay safe and healthy during the 4th of July weekend. Set your intentions. Reach out to me on my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium or Your Time to Shine. You can always find me on my website at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Happy 4th, everybody.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Avid Advice Live with Fia Johansson. Live from AvidAdviceLive.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Avid Advice Live
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you for all the gifts and all the blessings. We hear you loud and clear. We hear your aching heart, and we hear your call for renewal.
Thank you, coronavirus. Thanks for the opportunities. Thanks for the opportunity of a lifetime to gain an unparalleled enlightenment. I thank the universe for the opportunities it is providing us now. The opportunity to slow down and reflect on our lives. The opportunity to rethink our being and the purpose of our lives. The opportunity to spend time with those around us and our loved ones. The opportunity to better get to know my partner, my kids, the love of my life, my parents, and all. The opportunity to re-evaluate our lives and our life directions as well as our purposes. The opportunity to refocus, re-energize, reorganize, rebuild ourselves. The opportunities to get out of our busy and self-focused lives and pay attention to the world around us. The opportunity to value our friends and social interactions. The opportunity to have access to product and services when we want them. The opportunity to recognize and appreciate every little things in our life that we did not even see before. The opportunity that we love another. The opportunity to see that even the pretty faces on TV are nothing but an image. The opportunity to realize that my worth is not my status. The opportunity to understand that we all need one another. The opportunity to believe in ourselves and believe in our power and believe in God. Thank you, COVID-19. Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you for value our friends and our social interactions. For the opportunity to have access to products and services when we want them. The opportunities to recognize and appreciate every little things in our life that we did not even see it before. Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. Thank you for allowing us to put aside all our problems. Thank you for stopping us. Thank you so much. Thank you for making us appreciate the luxury we lived in. The abundance of products, freedom, health, wealth, love, and anything we wanted. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, coronavirus. The earth was begging us and begging us and begging us to stop for a very long time. And thank you that you helped the earth to breathe, to feel fresh and rebuild herself. This virus is with us, is an inside of our brain, our mind, our body, our soul. This virus came to us to show us how little and how tiny we are. This virus shows us the opportunity to see that the king of all beings is vulnerable to a tiny virus. This virus came to our life to show us that we are nothing than just soul. And this virus came to our life to show us to be kind and lovable, to send positive energies and love to others. Thank you, coronavirus.
I thank the Mother Earth for providing us with an opportunity to listen to it again. I thank for the second chance for renewal and refreshment and replenishment. I thank the universe for cleansing and purging all the negativity created for so many years, the pollution, the warming, the abuse of resources, the waste and our ignorance to protect our homes and our communities. The nature is acting and reacting to our misguided ways. Isn't it time for us perhaps take a page from the lesson to recognize what's around us? Thank for the blessings that are coming our ways each and every day. I trust the universe to guide me, protect me, and direct me to being better than the day before. I thank all the gifts that I receive each and every day in my life.
There is somebody's mom here. She directed to you right now.
Fee was actually channeling my mother.
I have her right now with me.
She passed away 3 years ago.
She says, forgive me.
Hearing from my mom was amazing.
What she told you before, 3 days before she passed.
That she loves me and that she'll see me soon.
She's directing me another woman in the room. Please.
My grandmother was my mentor growing up.
There's two women that directed by her right now. You and her. She's talking about the man that she was concerned, and she's still concerned, and she asked for forgiveness for that man as well.
The man that she brought forward to forgive, that's my brother.
She's telling you to stop being weak. Bring more confidence into your life.
You know, we're all at different points in our lives. We've all been through different experiences, traumas, excitements, joy.
She's proud of you. You're quick in something. You stopped something that was very hard for you to do.
You wouldn't think that 10 years ago that I was addicted to drugs.
She says, I'm proud of you. Continue.
I never stopped asking the universe to show me the way.
She's talking about your pain. Let it go.
I don't have to have that story anymore. I don't have to hold on to the story of my pain, of my past, of my trauma. Today, I can let it go.
Let it go! She said, can you forgive me?
Yes.
Say goodbye to all things that could stop you to succeed, to feel good, to connect with your soul. Say yes high.
Yes.
Loud.
Yes.
Louder.
Yes.
She's asking you, can you forgive that person? She's directing someone else. She's directing a man. She's directing someone. Can you forgive that person? Can you forgive that person for her? Loud!
Yes, I forgive him.
Why you do forgive him? She want to know.
I forgive him for myself.
You are worthy enough to do everything for yourself. Not for anybody else, for yourself.
I know that takes a lot from her, but she gives. And she gives and she gives.
She's asking you to be strong, to be powerful, to be connected to your soul. You don't need anyone's affection and approval to be perfect. You are already perfect. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Just say, yes, I do believe in myself.
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder!
Yes, I do believe in myself.
Louder!
Yes, I do believe in myself. And I believed in her. We're all from Brooklyn, New York, so there was a very Jewish Italian community there where people's homes were open and they would intermingle and share their faiths, share their food.
She's talking about backyard. She's talking about the trees. She's talking about dishes. She's talking about the chicken. She's talking about the chair. She's talking about everything. Please direct her what she's trying to say.
Nana's house.
Yes, my mom's house. We all lived together. I mean, they lived there with my mom and my dad. They were always together. We were always together, always cooking. She actually made a better chicken parmesan than my mother.
Yeah, hers is better. But don't tell her that.
Yeah, don't tell my mom that.
Don't tell Nana.
There is a power in sadness. There is a power in pain. And the power comes when you overcome it.
Talking to her really, really helped me, I think. It's definitely gonna kind of just clear my mind of all the negative thoughts that I had.
My father, Congressman Ron Dellums, who passed away a year and a half ago, visited FIA.
Today was a day to remember Ron Dellums, who in 1970 brought to Congress an anti-war and anti-apartheid stance that was branded as radical and dangerous.
Oh my God. He's asking, do you remember my hand?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what I told you?
Yeah.
Do you remember why I told you?
Yeah.
Dellums' youngest daughter, Piper, is proud that her father became an early voice against oppression in South Africa, applying pressure that would one day bring an end to apartheid.
You said, take my legacy, take my mantle. You're the smartest person I know. Go into the world and heal the land and do it in your way.
You know, Ron never gave up. He never became bitter. He loved people.
This is not my hand, this is your dad. He wanted you to tell again, louder, louder and clear, what he told you.
I'm passing you my mantle, I'm passing you my anointing, and passing it to you. You're the smartest one that I know. Run. There's so much work to be done. Run, run, run and heal the world and don't stop. Do it in your way. Run, baby girl. Do it in your way. So she spoke into me like a sister, but also like an angel.
He said, I saw you when you cried in front of that candle. Why did you cry?
She's given me the faith and trust and support that was being given me by my dad before he left. So she's done this beautiful transition of allowing me not to feel the void of his leaving.
I don't know where to go when I'm not speaking with you, or I just don't know how to feel safe in the world without you in it.
In the area where I don't have a female in my life because I don't have a relationship with my mother and I don't have a sister. She has stepped in with the feminine to remind me that I am also loved and purposeful and beautiful and worthy, that I'm valuable.
It's not just me that tried to basically sending her messages and changing her. So she changed me in so many ways as well.
So our silly song goes this way. We are the key to do more than just let it be. The key to our destiny is in the hands of our humanity. His love is more than a philosophy. 'Cause we are the key.
We are the key.
We are the
but
key.
diamonds key.
Times Square today. I am your host, Greg Roulette, and I am very excited for our next guest because she is known as the Persian Medium, the subconscious mind surgeon. She's a motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. This is going to be a fascinating conversation with my good friend, Fia Johansson. Fia, how are you doing? Welcome
nice
to the
to
show.
meet you. Thank you.
I am so excited to talk about what you've been up to because you've been getting some major attention lately, some amazing work with law enforcement. You've recently been featured in Forbes, Wall Street. Like, what's going on? Like, let's just start there. What's been happening with you?
Yeah, I'm shocked too, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm honored to be featured on Forbes magazine and also co-authoring with Jack and Phil. And at the same time, I find my purpose.
Yeah.
And my purpose was about to help others. And I started my career with law enforcement when I was at the age of 17. And I started in Stockholm. And when I came to US, I feel that I have to do the same because I do have a gift. I could help people, 1 million of them worldwide.
Yeah.
And why not? They need me and I need them to make them to feel good, relief. And then every families who reached out to me because of their missing persons, because of a lot of other individual cases, the most important part was if I can bring any relief and
Right.
any happiness to them.
Yeah.
Which for me was a blessing when I could feel that I could at least actually give them some closure for their thought, their emotional feelings, and then, connection with themselves again.
Exactly. Yeah, families, we need a lot of that right here, right now, today. Why do you think this is all happening now, right? Was it a certain case? Was it just you saying, I need to break? Like, why is all this attention coming your way now? The books, the media, the new business, like, why now?
I've always been around media, but this time, because of a couple of cases that I can't mention because of the security reason, I've been very known, and those cases been kind of huge cases, and Forbes got attention. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
And that was the feeling actually that I had, and then they reached out, they wanted to feature me, and Then after that, everything. And I'm actually going to be featured on Wall Street Journal in July.
Wow.
So I had an interview with iHeartRadio today. They reached out after they saw Forbes, and it was amazing. People ask me, are you just finding missing people? Or are you kind of like just working with the law enforcement? No, I don't. I actually work with individual cases with people, like when people want to talk to me and communicate with me, ask me about anything and everything.
Yeah.
It could be their love life, it could be their investments, it could be any other type of the cases, like as a business entrepreneur that they do have. So that's what I do, actually help them
So
out.
when does someone seek out a medium? At what point in their journey, whether it's for a missing person, for a loved one, for like their own life, when do they seek you out? Are you the last resort to help give me closure to the case, or are people starting to really see the value in bringing you into a case early?
Definitely when all the cases are starting, so they know already about like what's going on around that case. But sometimes it's very hard to put all the puzzles together to find that specific person or that specific crimes. So that's why, especially cold cases, so that's why when I came in the middle, I'm receiving those messages, I'm connecting, and at the same time, I help them to put more puzzles together and more communication with people, and that would make them to succeed faster.
Now, is this something that law enforcement has been using for forever? Is this something new to them?
It's not something new. CIA actually used psychics for so many years, and also other law enforcement also using psychic. Google using psychics, and but it's not every person. So you have to have a talent, you have to have a gift, and they are not a joke. If you are not deliver, if you are just pretending or acting, nothing good is going to happen. So you have to have the gift, you have to have a talent, and they want to see the proof and test.
Yeah.
And believe me or not, you know, I think and I believe so strongly, law enforcement, they do have some psychic abilities by themselves because they knew what's going on, but they are not really believing in their inner voice or their thought and subconscious until they get in connect, example, with me, and I'm just like, well, you already found it, but you pass it down. Why? Because you doubted about it. So we do all have, we are based on energies. We pick up energies, we're receiving energies, but we have to listen and we have to connect with that energies.
What do you think it is that makes you unique? Like, why do they bring you in for these cases?
Because I'm stubborn and because I'm telling law enforcement what to do and not to do. And if they are not listening, I'm getting out from the room. And they know me. People who actually worked with me in the past, they know I'm real and I'm serious. People who may just shaking hand with me just because of other sources that have been interviewed or introduced by. So then they kind of like, it takes time for them, maybe about 24 hours or 48 hours to get to know me. After that, they would say, well, whatever you says, yes, we do.
I love that. And the stubbornness is taking you to really good places right now. I love it. Where do you want this to go? Like, so the writing the books, the getting the attention, working with law enforcement, working with, like, where do you see yourself growing this?
I have no roof. There's no roof for me. And as long as I can help other people, that's exactly what life is. I mean, I think I do have a gift just because of one purpose. Just be there for people and let people bring love and happiness to you. And as long as I know and I feel and I breathe, I would love to help as many as I can. So people who want to talk to me about their personal issues, because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist too, so I'm removing addiction, any type of addictions with hypno.
Yeah.
I'm also actually having master degrees, psychologist master degrees from actually University of Stockholm. So basically, I can do a lot for people as far as I did all my life. Like at the age of 7.5, when I found about my abilities.
Yeah.
From that time until now, everything is just rock for me.
I love that. Now, this is a fun question we ask everybody on the show. If you could go back in time, right? So whether this is you just starting your business, maybe it was when you were young and you found out these abilities, if you could give yourself a piece of advice, knowing now what you know and where this is taking you, what would you tell yourself?
Be your own leader. Lead yourself and always be yourself. Never try to pretend to be somebody. Never try to change yourself just because someone or somebody or some country wanted you to be. Bring your unique personality, tap into your talent and energies, and just bring inspiration to people. When we are sending love and inspiration, we are receiving the same.
Yeah.
So just be yourself, be happy, and be thankful.
I love that. Now, if someone is watching this right now, and I know they are, and they're like, I need a Persian medium in my life, I need her to help my organization, like, where can they learn more? Where do they see how you can actually help them?
I do have a platform named Avid Advice, A-V-I-D, Advice, avidadvice.com. So people can reach out through my avidadvice.com platform. I do have Instagram, Persian Medium, basically. Just type Persian Medium.
Love it.
I have over 1,200,000 followers already, so I would love to have more followers. So, and also avidawakening.com is my place in Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach.
Okay.
But right now the waiting list is about like February 23rd, 2020. But people who would love to meet me face to face, I would say go to fiona@avidawakening.com, send an email, and I will be there for you in no time.
Lots of different ways to learn more, lots of different ways to contact you. Please reach out because she can help you, whether it's getting closure or learning more or getting that insight into what you need to know. Fia, thank you so much for being a guest here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Definitely. And we'll be back with more from Times Square today in just a minute.
Welcome back to the Global Entrepreneurship Initiative. I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Fia Johansson, who's better known as the Persian medium and subconscious mind surgeon. She's a multi-talented motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. An author who works closely with law enforcement to help locate missing people and solve difficult criminal cases with detectives and as well as private investigators. Throughout her career, she's helped thousands of people identify personal roadblocks to help them truly believe in their own path to success, whatever that dream may be. Her greatest passion in life is helping others achieve their ultimate dreams and desires, teaching people to believe that truly anything is possible. Please help me welcome to the stage Ms. Fia Johansson.
Welcome back. Did you know that police departments across the country and even the CIA sometimes turn to psychics to help them solve cases? Victims' families looking for answers also turn to mediums for closure. Fiona Johansson is an author as well as a licensed psychologist and hypnotist.
Welcome back. Our next guest is a celebrity medium, a clinical hypnotherapist, a holistic healer, and holds a master's in psychology. Fia Johansson is known as the Persian medium, and she's even worked with intelligence agencies and law enforcement to find answers in cases. She also wants all of us to discover our best selves. Fia, good morning.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jack Canfield, your host for Hollywood Live. My next guest, Fia Johansson, is an amazing person. She is speaks 5 languages, which I find very impressive. She's emigrated to several countries, has a psychology degree from the University of Stockholm in Sweden. She is a hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist and healer, and God knows probably other things I don't even know about.
Hi, welcome back to Times Square today. I am your host, Greg Roulette, and I am very excited for our next guest because she is known as the Persian medium, the subconscious mind surgeon. She's a motivational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, and celebrity psychic medium. This is going to be a fascinating conversation with my good friend, Fia Johansson.
For centuries, it's believed that mediums have been able to mediate communication between spirits of the dead and living human beings. People usually recruit mediums to help them get in contact with family members or friends who have passed on. But celebrity psychic Fiona Johansson is also using her abilities to help law enforcement solve cold cases and help exonerate and free innocent inmates. And Fiona is joining us now. Fiona, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today? Welcome to Avid Awakening, a beautiful, gorgeous wellness center who will adjust you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Also, it will help you to manifest your finance, anything and everything you desire for. This place is a very beautiful place which is located in Corona Del Mar. So please book your appointment today.